Thank you very much for joining us for another exciting edition of the Lunchtime Cafe. My name is Marco Kwakozi. Now, this is a program that comes to you every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at exactly 12 hours. We start with the midday news, and then we get into various segments of this particular program. And then we have quite a number of interesting items today, Tuesday, the 19th of September, 2023. So we are going to be talking to the UPND Special Assistant Mobilization in the SG's office. This is Mr. Michael Chuzu, just to discuss issues surrounding the issue to do with the documentary that was published and aired in Zimbabwe. Of course, there were a number of Zambian politicians that were interviewed in that particular documentary. The UPND is here to come and give their thought on that particular documentary. Also, we are going to be giving you some stories from way back, just to refresh our memories, take us back to where we are coming from, just to remind us of where we are coming from, of course. And we are going to be giving you a few stories that are emerging in a segment we call the Emerging Stories. But let's quickly get into the forgotten stories and see what we have selected to remind you today.
Government has commenced the second phase of the mobile registration exercise, which will commence on the 20th of September 2020. The exercise, which will cover 5 provinces, is targeted to issue 730,000 national registration cards. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo disclosed this during the launch of the second phase of the national registration exercise.
The exercise shall run for 40 days and will cover the following provinces: Lusaka, Central, Muchinga, Western, and Southern province. Registration teams will visit all corners of the provinces in phase 2 in order to accord everyone, including those in far-flung areas, to access national registration.
The minister has also disclosed that the first phase of the exercise was very successful despite some political interference.
It is gratifying to report through you, our dear colleagues from the press, that the first phase of the mobile registration exercise, which covered Copperbelt, Northwestern, Northern, Eastern, and Lopra provinces, has been successful.
Meanwhile, Mr. Kampyongo, he has called on other stakeholders such as traditional leaders, the church leaders, political leaders, and the media to help in sensitizing the importance of this exercise.
You commit a crime, we deal with you in accordance with the law. We don't look at who you are. I heard some politician talking about someone being a parent. How can they be slapped with a charge of aggravated robbery and malicious damage? Who the hell do you think who you are to question the law? Question the law. Don't question those that implement it. The law that is in place is what is applied on each citizen who breaks it. So my appeal is that to those of you who are politicians have stipulated the roles you are going to play. It doesn't cover you storming the places where officers are working. It doesn't. Sensitizing is very clear. You sensitize our people to appreciate the exercise.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
We were brought up in woodlands. We used to enjoy even sitting near the forest. Now you give it as a what? You give it to the Chinese. We see the Chinese built Some have even built. You can even, when they're in, when they're in the houses, they're able to see the activities in the barracks, Bama barracks. How do you put a house, which when you're inside, you're able to see the activities in the barracks? Is that correct? So certain things, even before they were done, I think the guys should have known that one day they will be out of government. So what the government should do is destroy, plant trees which were destroyed, and we seal it again. It's a nice place to keep it as a forest. There's no need. We have too much land. What was the point of going for the forest? Guys, we have too much land. If I were head of state then, like ECL, he should have initiated beekeeping in that forest, so that there's revenue for the government. But houses, how many people are going to live in those houses? And when you look at the plots, they belong to same individuals, few individuals. There's no, let them just drop the houses that are there. There's no need of giving it. Those that are built there have no heart for this country. I don't think they are human beings, because you don't go into government to go and benefit yourself.
Utilities such as water, energy, and sanitation are essential services, but in many parts of Zambia, these services are not easily accessible for various reasons, including the mode of payment available. The water sector does not want to be left behind in a quest to realize a digital cashless economy through information communication technologies, ICTs. Over the years, water firms have made strides to digitalize their services to make it easier for the people. The National Water Supply and Sanitation Council NWASCO Communications and Public Relations Manager Mponga Semukwai notes that in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, scaling up digital technology remains vital towards enhancing service delivery, adding that NWASCO has been encouraging water utility firms to digitalize services for the sake of efficiency and convenience.
Because by doing that, remember with COVID caps restrictions on people gathering, you're reducing that human contact. It means that then the customers will still need to be reached. So how do you do that? We encourage the utilities to maximize the use of digital platforms. This meant that during COVID, customers are able to receive their billing, they're able to make their payments, and then also they're able to register their complaints through online platforms. There's a lot of e-banking going on. The utilities have come into agreements with all these financial institutions to ensure that their customers are not inconvenienced during this time.
Most of the time, water firms take long to respond to consumer issues, like in this case.
Manzi tigula one kwacha bucket. Biu babwela ucheckinga biu na kulipira biu tilipira. Manzi amene kulipi. Ngati simunalipile ija biu simu iziva na kweya chokela ngati simunailipile babwela uvala kwa amene kulibe manzi.
So my WhatsApp allows the consumers a voice on matters of water supply and sanitation, because through that platform a customer is able to see their billing, they know what their consumption has been, and then also a customer is able to lodge in a complaint. So what normally happens is that a customer will lodge in a complaint with a utility. We always encourage that is the starting point. Once they lodge in their complaint with the utility, they are given a reference number, and once they are given a reference number, there are specified time frames within which that complaint must be resolved. If it is not resolved, it automatically escalates to NWASCO, and we pick it up, and ours is to ensure that complaint is resolved within the stipulated time frame.
And as the regulator, NWASCO implores consumers to be utilizing digital platforms to resolve matters. She says research and digital services are among priorities in the strategic plan for NWASCO.
Strategic plan. And if you look at our theme, we're saying leveraging on enhanced enforcement, information communication and technology, research and development, and innovation to efficiently and effectively regulate water supply and sanitation services. So already the digital space is something that we're actively looking into. Issues of research and development is something that
Although not everyone can be in a position to use ICT facilities, it must be noted that the future is on the phone, as the need to continue adjusting. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. Those are some of the stories that we reminded you. We thought of reminding you just to refresh your memories as to where we are coming from. Now, let's move on. Let's get into this emerging stories that we hope would make the cut on our 1930 main news this evening. The first one says Governance and Development Advocate Zambia has called on the University of Zambia, the higher learning of institution in the country, to avoid resorting to riotous behavior whenever they're in conflict with different situations. Now, Mr. Mulenga says the behavior exhibited by the students is very disappointing to President Hakainde Hichilema, as he has taken heed to all the needs of the UNZA students by reintroducing the meal allowances, which was abolished. Now, further, President Hichilema's government has always been open to engage with the students and members of UNZASU on any developing needs. Mr. Mulenga has urged the students to desist from such vices, as it is denting the image of the institution and putting the name of the president, who is a #1 patron, in disrepute. Now, Mr. Mulenga reminded the learners at the institution to guard their hard-earned knowledge, which is being awaited by government employment and the corporate world. So that's our first story in the emerging stories. And now quickly to the next story, which is one of the biggest stories in the country, and it's a developing story where it says Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali says there is nothing wrong with the documentary he participated in surrounding the elections in Zimbabwe. Now, Tayali says the insinuations by UPND Lusaka province chairperson Obvious Mwaliteta that the political leaders who participated in the documentary must be arrested are misplaced, because there is no illegality in the documentary. He clarifies that he and other opposition leaders gave their own opinions, which they are entitled to, and that there is nothing illegal in the in the opinions they gave in the documentary. Now, newly appointed Patriotic Front PF Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda says government should not succumb to pressure and arrest the people who were interviewed in the documentary. Let's have a look at this.
There has been this very immature, dramatic behavior from the UPND, and Dr. Nevasumba also is being used as a tool to try and incite for some unlawful arrests of opposition leaders. First of all, if the UPND government and state institutions succumb to that nonsense, really to be very embarrassing. First of all, what we, at least I said, and what other colleagues, listening to what other colleagues said, there's nothing in there that is false. The truth of the matter is that, one, the current president, in opposition, being a member of the Brain Trust Foundation, to which Chamisa, the main opposition leader in Zimbabwe, is also a member, naturally are very close. But that also has been, justified by the fact that even during his inauguration, something unconventional was, expressed or done. That is to have opposition leaders who are part of that foundation attend the inauguration of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. My money did, Chamisa did. And when we highlight those things, you can't now just wake up and say that's espionage or whatever offense they're talking about. We sympathize with people like Mwadi Teta because of their level of ignorance. We sympathize with the likes of Matambo, who are basically just lumpens that are used to do things that actually go to injure the relationship that exists between Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much. So those are some of the stories that are emerging, stories that we expect to see tonight during our evening news at 19:30. So do make sure that you tune in at 19:30 to see the details of those particular stories. Now, earlier on, I did mention that we are going to be featuring Mr. Michael Chuzu, who is Special Assistant Mobilization in the Secretary General's office in the UPND, and he is here. Of course, we are discussing various issues concerning the governance of this country. Mr. Chuzu is here. Mr. Chuzu, thank you very much for making it to the Lunchtime Cafe. Welcome to this interview.
Thank you very much. After some time, that almost about 3 weeks ago. But we have been moving up and down with the Secretary General. We were in the Eastern Province.
Sure.
And after Eastern Province, I was assigned to go to Serenji and Chitambo, where we are trying to make things, to put things in place. Yes.
Now, tell us about your field visits to Eastern Province and, of course, to Serenji and Chitambo. How are the people receiving you in these areas, and how is your work going, considering the high cost of living?
I'm telling you the SG, the way he was received in Imambwe district, where we have got a very powerful man, Mr. Pili, Honorable Pili, who is also a member of parliament for Malambo constituency, as well as our provincial minister for Eastern Province. The man is fantastic, in a sense that, well organized and well disciplined constituents I have ever visited. The unit of a purpose in his constituents, our Honorable Pili, is fantastic. The SG was received as if he's in his place, Rukuru. He was so much, very, very much welcomed. But not only that, he was so impressed the way how CDF is being utilized in Malambo, in Imambwe constituency. It was a superb, which means that people are receiving what is meant for them. It was very nice. At the same time, we went into Chipangari, where in Chipangari, again, you cannot believe that the MP in Chipangari is an opposition, comes from PF. But the way how he has carried out the CDF itself, and the way how he has mobilized the people to understand what the CDF is for those people, it's extremely, Andrew Rubusha, he has done extremely very well. Not only that, we went also in Kasenengwa, where we were a little bit disappointed. Disappointed in the fact that we went to a secondary school, which is only for the girls. But the dormitory itself, it was very bad. Very crowded. And the toilets themselves, which the girls are using, is not something that you can talk to. And you know, girls is where our mothers comes from. And they are so crowded. And we asked the council to build an ablution block. They are using a deep tree. And the SG was so upset. He wasn't happy on that thing. Even myself, when I looked, you see, it is a boarding school which is surrounded by the village. Now, if young girls are not accommodated nicely, you see, they'll be exposed to a lot of vices. And later on, people, young men and even elderly men will take advantage of our young girls. So it is more prudent if we can have a very good dormitory, a very decent ablution block where they have got water running and so forth. That would be nice. So on that one, we are not happy. We were not happy. Then again, we went to Cinda, where we were very happy with the way how the projects are being done in Cinda itself. We were also disappointed when we came to Petauke Central. We were not happy the way how the school was done, even the desks themselves. So I hope JJ, Honorable Minister, Honorable MP for Petauke Central, please go and visit that school we went visited. It was badly done. You could find that one part of the walls is painted black. The other inside is painted black. The other side is painted blue. The same room. Look at the desks themselves. It wasn't very good. And I want to assure you, that's why there is a need for the office of the Secretary General to go and see how CDF is being utilized.
Could this be a problem of workmanship? Because do you have people like, let's say in Petauke, well vested in putting up a proper classroom block for the school?
Exactly. We have got the people, we had the Debs who literally said yes. We even told them that they should make 1 by 3 office block. But instead they went 1 by 2. Which, according to the standard that the Debs, the Minister of Education wants, that is not the standard. Even the roofing itself, it was bad. So the Debs agreed with the team of the SG what they saw. So on that basis, we want members, even the public, I hear the contractor who was there was even very rude with the PTA group. Very rude. He didn't want to listen to what he had wanted. So we are urging the community, whenever these people are building clinic, hospitals and such, go and make noise, because that is your property. Is that not? Then from there, I was assigned to go to Serenge.
No, but maybe before we go to Serenge, you did say that, however, that you were impressed with what happened in Mambwe and also in Chipangari.
As well as
what impressed you? What projects are being worked on?
What impressed us is the school standard. The contractor himself. I think the MP is on top of things. They are on top of the things. So much so that whatever they are doing, they are being monitored. And that qualifies what the CDF, community, or the committee, as well as the council and the MP. It seems the working relationship, these departments are equal to that. And that's what we want. Mind you, our job as a secretary, as office of the Secretary General, is not to intimidate our intellectuals. No. For us is to encourage them that the work which you are doing is the best. You know, we cannot ask the ministers, the MPs, to supervise themselves. There must be other people to check. Is it true that the MP, the money that is given, 28.3 million, are the projects taking place? If they are not, somebody must go there and check. And that's what we have been doing. And most of the MPs that we have interacted with, they are happy with what we are doing. And we are not stopping there. We are going to continue going and to make sure, even if we have been there at that time, we shall go again to make sure that these things are being carried. You know, CDF is a game changer for any MP. It's a game changer. If each and every MP is going to do what other MPs are doing, I'm telling you, it's going to be very difficult for a new person to come in and dislodge the incumbent MP. Because most of the things he's going to do, like you can imagine, where we have gone, again, they've already bought caterpillars, to clear the roads. And the most important thing that people are talking about, road has been impassable. So because of that, somebody has already bought those things now. They are doing the job. And what will be other people need? It will be something different. So as we are talking about, the situation is what? Please, let us not put politics in the minds of people in a different way, but to build. That's me, I'm a politician, one. When I see certain individuals, I think you said we are going to see some of the things which are there, we are going to comment. I will reserve it for that. UPND, New Dawn government, we planned for 23 years, planning. Suppose Zambians are going to give us a chance to rule this country, how are we going to go about? When you see my president moving up and down, doesn't mean that you just want to spend money. No. There are issues that people are saying, no, Hakainde doesn't go into that, and that is the enemy of that. Hakainde goes there. They were talking Hakainde cannot even in Russia, what and what. He went and met President Putin. He met in order to consolidate the whole world. From there, recently said, no, how can we ourselves be away from China? China has been there with us until what? Hakainde spent, there's no place where Hakainde has spent more days to one nation. 6 days in China, if not 5. He was there, moving to make sure that what the other people were thinking it was not to be done, Hakainde has done. My president, Bwana, is a thinker. He knows, he plans. And when we plan, we in the secretariat, whatever he does, I told you last time that the UPND as a party, we had a manifesto. And this manifesto, we went to say 2 things. Our candidates as well as our manifesto. 2 things to move together in order for us to form the government. The other thing was to make sure that our candidate go and sell the manifesto of UPND, of which we are carrying out those 2 things. And that's what we are doing. In any politics, don't also chita vingazi nandale. Also chita vingazi nandale. Because you are talking to the men of God. You are talking about the people who know what life is about. And when you are dealing with people, you must know what you are doing about. So to assure you, the man, my president, and the Republican president of the Republic of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, is there in the State House with a purpose. Not a game changer. Or not to just change the game, but to change the lives of people. And to change the face of Zambia. And that's what he's there for, and I support him.
What did you find in Serenge?
In Serenge, as you know, Serenge, the other area, Mchinga constituency is run by an opposition. Then the other side, there is a PF, and that independent candidate, by the way, was a member of UPND. So as you know, when you are moving up and down, there was a little misunderstanding because some members of our party joined the independent candidate and they favored. The other one supported our candidate, of which our candidate didn't do well. The other man, both of these children were ours. So as you know in politics, when you define thinking, sometimes you create atmosphere, which is very unnecessary. So we went there, we sat down, and we agreed. This is the way to work. As I'm telling you now, Serenge came together, and they're working now as a team. Chitambo the same. You know, some people now are so anxious because we are in government. They think now is the time to start building the ground so that the next time that. But to us as UPND, said, wait. This is not the time for politics. Politics, it will come in 2025.
Sure.
This time we have, it's not for saying Pakwanja. We have put Pakwanja down. Now we are saying UPND New Dawn government. We are bringing a new dawn to the people, to the Zambians. So now for us, that's why you see the SG moving around to see the development are taking place. That is what people are expecting us. Not now we should start talking about the politics the way our poor colleagues are talking. No, we are not going to waste time on that. That's why people are telling my president that he's weak. Imwe, please, we are not weak. It's very annoying. My president is not weak. Watch our space next time.
There is a documentary that has raised a lot of dust. It was aired on a national broadcaster in Zimbabwe, and it has been making rounds on social media and various platforms here in Zambia, and there's a lot that has been said about this particular documentary. What do you make of this documentary?
I'm a politician. I want to warn these people. Given Ruvinda, Kachinda, Mwamba, Tayari, Membe, don't annoy us. I'm a politician, but don't annoy us. You can't call my president a puppet. Akainde a puppet? 2.8 people voted for Akainde. Now listen. Given Ruvinda in 2006, he was a member of UPND. Let me tell you, Zambians, if you don't know what type of person he is. In 2006, Ruvinda was with us. We were running around for the campaign of inter-party elections. What happened? Ruvinda ganged up that he didn't want Akainde. He had decided with some certain people in order to bring in the Secretary General. In 2006, I fought for that. And do you know what the person he wanted to bring? Levi Mumba from Petauke. To become the Secretary General of UPND. We stopped it, Bwana, in Eastern Province. Do you know what Given Ruvinda told me? I was a son of a Satan. Ruvinda, he knows better. He knows me. And I know his politics and his thing. Bwana is a very slippery politician. Where he goes, there will be a confusion at the end of the day. The way you are seeing now in the PF, that is Given Ruvinda. That place where he is not his home. The owners built it. Kachinda na imwe. Iwe Kachinda, ni chinji cha kulowera mtu, ni chinji. Ni mwana osokonezeka ucha, Kachinda. Go and find out his history in Kawe. He was talking about Nevas Mumba, attitude, what and what. Yes, please, when you are talking about somebody's behavior, first of all, check your back. Check your back. What happened in Kawe? What was he? And what are the people were talking about him? I don't want to go in detail. He was moving up and down in courts. Now today, he wants to champion, he's calling my president. Akachinda, ziremekezeni. Ziremekezeni Akachinda. Don't you think we are dull politicians in UPND? I want to assure you, you will not go very far. To me, Pakachinda, I'll give you an example. Do you know the bees? Njuchi. You see, when the bee also produces a very good honey, very good one, you and me, you can enjoy. But if you touch it now badly, even if it is there you eat, one day to bite your tongue, and the tongue will grow big and you not eat honey. Zambia is a country of honey. If you want to enjoy the honey of what Hakainde is bringing Kachinda, please remain quiet. I want to thank Bowman Ilisam, the way he's coming up himself. That's the way how politics should be.
How?
I want to also, Bwana, Emmanuel Mwamba, very slippery person. I will tell you, when you people, Zambians, who was very close with Chiluba, who was very close, Chiluba stood against Sata, Bwana. He stood against Sata. Chiluba said, upon my dead body, I will not allow, I'm not going to allow Sata to go and make sure that Luapula will not support Sata. Where was Mwamba? Emmanuel Mwamba was moving together with Chiluba. Now, what happened? What happened to Chiluba? Chiluba said, upon my dead body is when Sata will penetrate. Please know the history of these people, Bwana. When Chiluba died, what happened? What happened to Mwamba when Chiluba died? The time he was moving together with Chiluba, he crossed. He went to PF and was welcomed. And when he was welcomed, Emmanuel Mwamba, the first appointment, it is in East, was in Eastern Province, Bwana. I stood myself in each part, and here I said, upon myself as I am here in Eastern Province, we are not going to allow Mwamba to come to Eastern Province because his hand is not clean. He didn't tell us, he was there when Chiluba was dying. Mwamba, Emmanuel, I'm not saying he's the one who caused the death, but he saw what happened. From there, he joined PF. History abantu. I said myself in Eastern Province, we are not going to allow Mwamba to come to Eastern Province to be the PS. The president, the late, may he so rest in peace, Sata. He said, there is a man in Eastern Province. He said your house is not clean. But you don't even fail to go there. Go in Eastern Province. That man is a vagabond. He has got no home. He has got no education. He is what? He finished me. Sata was speaking in a press conference at the State House, talking about me, not allowing Mwamba, because I saw Mwamba not being honest. He's not a good politician, Amdala. He's not good. Now you become ambassador. Your own country, where there is peace and honey, you are saying this country is bad. What type of politician is he? What is he trying to make? Bwana, some of these people, you must be very careful. To me, it depends when I see Rulinda. To me, it depends when I see Kachinda. To me, it depends when I see Mwamba saying whatever they are saying. Because some of us, we know who are they. They know me as Michael Chuzu. So we are the people who planted. 1998 UPND have never moved to any party. From 1998 to date, I've put Hakainde there because I know the future for Zambia was there in him. Bwana. Today, we are seeing Tayari. Who is Tayari? In Zambian politics. He's a comedian in politics. We can't have that type of things.
We do have a
Membe.
line.
Membe. But let me finish this. Membe, our businessman here of Nandale. What was he? You see, he was there every now and then finishing PF. Like what?
We do have a caller on the line before you lose your thought. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, we lost that call. You can call us on the numbers that are on your screens if you want to participate on this particular program. We are featuring the UPND Special Assistant for Mobilization in the Secretary General's office, Mr. Michael Chuzu. We are discussing various issues, of course, including the documentary that is making rounds on social media and various other platforms. So you can call us on those particular numbers, or you can send your messages to the numbers that are on screen, or you can go to Facebook and leave your comments in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to see what you are thinking and also get your questions from those particular platforms. Now,
Buana, let me finish you. Let me just finish this sentence. Some of us, we are more prepared to die with Hakainde. More prepared. Because we sacrifice. One, I've been in prison myself. I've been in prison. Please, Chimbakaira Kamara, Chimbakaira Kamara. You see, do you know when you go to court, they will say Michael Chuzu versus the people. Which are the people? Zambians. Anything that I do wrongly to the Zambians people. That's what it is there. And when these people are doing, you see, uyu mtendere utili now, freedom of speech, assembly, I think it ononge. It ononge mwe.
Before
you see, my president has said, ngati mufuna uti mkobwe tuka vola vila la vila na neo mkoni nena as a president. Please ngoka mbani, mumfunira. Aikamula mure, aicho sapo. Now, when my president has done that for the people, you want to shout my president, and you want to choose to be angarenete because I'm in the government. I have to allow my president to be insulted by these useless people.
What? What impact has this documentary got on the relations between Zambia and Zimbabwe?
And to make things worse.
Before you respond to that,
yes,
we have a caller on the line. Let's see if we can get this call. Hello, good afternoon. Buno mulibwanji.
Bagesti watu abo.
Malume nilibwino mulitiani.
Ziko mukambana wa mobi kumakeni konga.
Ziko.
Please go ahead, sir.
PF kiba bwina. Take for 10 years, Zambia. Misango yao yote hizi, we are tired of them. When nakaitinda, when Lusambo and Mwanga, when GPM, when Kamsongo, what they are doing. So, we are branding, and many of them we are branding. Both the many rights and Marathi, Uncle Mozambique, that are Guerrera, Kunati, la Sortate. Kukapatia vazona in Zambia, kulibepati ya mene inapo kamupanda, ni boda. Bompate time HH, our president, your man, Napata, mandate for 5 years. And some 26 are in a foot. We are denied. That's what Camnet. Kulikose, we both are many of us know a PF, good president, what is the Mozina Yamuru.
Zikomo Kwambili, you can also call us on the numbers that are on your screen.
You know, my
brother,
brother,
want to give us a question or contribution. We are featuring the Special Assistant for Mobilization in the Office of the Secretary General in the UPND, and this is Mr. Michael Chuzu. We were talking about the relations between Zambia and Zimbabwe as regards the document.
One thing I want to say, Waetengos, Gwenyama, Waetengos. Yesterday, my paramount chief, Mpezeni, he said, Barungu na Hakainde, please work together. This is our only country. There is no way we can differ. Now, that is coming from the paramount chief, Mpezeni, appealing to the true Zambians who happened to be Barungu na Hakainde. As the people, at one time, Barungu soldiers in this country peacefully, and the Hakainde wants to maintain the peace that we have. My paramount Ngwenyama, Nkosi Yama Nkosi, he says, please people, unite one another. And you look at Giveni, you look at Kachinda, you look at Mwambe Tayari and Fred Membe. What my chief, they don't want it. What my paramount is asking for 2 people. These 5 people, they don't want it. Now, what we have to know again is this. How did that journalist, all the way from Zimbabwe, come to go to Ndola and do these footages and so forth, putting them together and going to Zambia Nation, to Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, for that matter, and put it at the footage? And we Zambians now, we are watching. You think that thing, the same footage, we go to Zimbabwe, do whatever they do, whatever they're doing. They come here and they go to Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation and put it. What do you want? Even if you are very intelligent journalist, what do you want to bring to your country and the other country? Because of one person? Even if it was there to say he erred. Even if he erred. I am asking the owner of this church, Pastor Moses Wachirufya. Please, sir. He's a very good mediator, if you don't know. Very good mediator. He has known each and every leader in this country. And he has known his history. I think I will ask him, please, sir, Pastor, go Giveni, Kachinda, Mwamba Tayari, and Fred Membe. Talk to them. Talk to them, sir. I'm pleading with you, Pastor Chirufya. Talk to these people. They're senior pastor, isn't it? Talk to these people, please. What they are searching for is not what Zambians want. We cannot bring something inanimate between Zimbabwe and Zambia. How many Zimbabweans are here? When Zimbabweans were being chased in South Africa, most of them came here. They are here. Now you want Mwamba, so that we start chasing our brothers and sisters who are here. And you want Kachinda to start putting these things. Many useless. You may. Pachingoni muziba. Kuvinikera tiara.
Oh, okay.
Vopusa hivi. Vopusa. Kwazo, let me tell you. I'm Ngoni. We used to go and head cattle. Yes, me. I smoked dog when I was at home. When I was looking after animals. That is a traditional thing to me. But if somebody does beyond, become confused. Just the same with these people. They are not. They don't know what the politics is about. Whether politics is saving or insulting, they don't know.
Let's take a short break by getting a glimpse of this particular documentary. Probably, maybe there are people that have not seen it. Let's just have a brief look at what this documentary was talking about, just to put you in the picture of what we are discussing this afternoon.
President Hakainde Hichilema himself is widely regarded as having very close ties to the Brenthurst Foundation, which allegedly assisted him on numerous occasions during his campaign period. The bond that exists between him and his colleagues who work closely with the foundation is solid as ever.
For the first time in the history of our country, we've ended up with a president who's causing our standing globally at continental level and in the SADC region to degenerate to levels where the respect and the honor that Zambia has enjoyed over the years, especially looking at the role that Zambia played through our founding father, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. I can tell you that we are working with our heads buried in our palms out of shame, because this president that we have is a puppet of imperialists.
The 43rd Ordinary Session of the SADC Heads of State and Government was held on the 17th of August in Luanda, Angola. It is during this summit that President Hichilema was elected chairperson of the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation. This coincided with the elections which were to be held in Zimbabwe on the 23rd of August 2023. As the incumbent chair of the organ, President Hichilema was mandated with appointing the head of mission to the elections in Zimbabwe in accordance with the SADC stipulations. The head of mission was to lead a team of observers drawn from several SADC countries as well as other SADC caucuses to come and observe the election pre, during and post period. Enter Nevers Mumba.
I want you to welcome the former Vice President of Zambia, Apostle Nevers Mumba. Let's welcome him here to this house.
Hallelujah.
Nevers Mumba, a Zambian politician whose political career spans over 2 decades, has not been immune from controversy. Almost all politicians and civic leaders I encountered in Lusaka and beyond had a story to tell about the infamous figure who had just headed a SADC election observer mission to Zimbabwe, releasing a preliminary report fraught with a lot of irregularities.
All of us in Zambia, from the onset, we did echo that he was a misfit and a compromised person to undertake that assignment. Why do we say compromised? Is because for me, I know that President Hakainde Hichilema, who appointed him, and himself, myself, at some point attempted to go into a political alliance in opposition, particularly in 2014, after we had the presidential by-election as a result of the death of the then President Michael Chilufya-Sata.
So that is just part of the documentary, just to put you in the know if you were not, you've not seen it yet. That is what probably that is what it's talking about. Mr. Chuzu, we are featuring Mr. Michael Chuzu, who is the UPND assistant, special assistant for mobilization in the Secretary General's office. Mr. Chuzu, these people that featured in this particular documentary, the people that were interviewed in this particular documentary, are saying there's nothing wrong with them giving their opinions based on this matter, and that it would be wrong to arrest them. Of course, yesterday the Lusaka province chairperson, Obvious Mwaliteta, was saying these people must be arrested. They're saying there's nothing wrong. That's their opinion.
Their opinion?
Yes.
Calling my president a puppet? Nothing wrong? Mind you, he was given a mandate by Zambians. Is it true that the Zambians, they elected a puppet? The 2.8 million. You are calling the 2.8 million to be the person who gave us to Zambians as a puppet. That's nonsense. Amdala, when somebody has been given instrument of powers, that man is very cool, Amdala. Very cool. I told you last time that we said, Bwana President, me, I'm a politician. I don't even hide it to my president. I say, Bwana President, PF tortured us, please. And they ended up beating us. Are you able to give us only three months? We want to tell them what we are doing was not good. 3 months. Do you know what our president answered us? No. Please, don't ever think about that. He said, no Qatarism. Whoever is going to die is going to stand on his own. The law is on. We have been even seeing our own members now, we are talking, in prison, going to court, because he is standing on his word. Now today Vakachinda can say that, and they are saying that choose Michael, a politician who is a diehard for Hakainde, said he tells me as a puppet, Atayali, Amwamba, Aluvinda, Musevera Nandare na Mwemweo. They are playing with politics. The cleanliness of the politics that we have in Zambia, please don't make it dirty. Don't. Kachinda was one of those who were confusing the MMT. Was there. He knew what he was. He knew what he was doing. Now these people here, even Membe, Amdara Namumweo.
I know that you do not agree with what they are saying, but it still remains.
I will not agree with these people.
But it still remains their opinion.
Even if, bwana, oroncho organiza, ufuna organiza ukambe chintu, uko kambako na nzeru. Noti ukamba nga uliye muntu, uganiza lini. By the way, what I speak here represents something different. Something. If I come here and I'm annoying Zambians, but I am trying to explain to Zambians, please Zambians, I beg you, never fall prey to these people. These people, they don't mean good. Now, if tomorrow all the politicians in Zambia on Sunday, which is coming, they have said, we pray against the devil coming here. Then Mwamba and the Kachina said, let the devil strike because we have got a puppet in State House. Komandare hii ni achiputa. Iya Kachinda hii. Very useless. It's good because my president has ordered, because some of us, we are savage in politics, we are even savage in thinking. But because there's a head of state who has made us to think like the way he thinks, we have stopped and said, okay, Wamdala, let's go the way it is. But if they will continue, a president, it's better as you, these people, let they also arrest us. We go back. Kabiri monga ini, nuizi wachimbwa kaira. Monga ini nizi wakamwara. So if these people continues, I will use instrument powers of the politics. Full stop. Instrument of powers of politics.
You speak of President Hakainde Hichilema as a good man.
Yes, he is.
And there is a perceived animosity between him and the former Republican President Edgar Lungu. This is what prompted the chiefs to visit President Hakainde Hichilema and, of course, tell him to live in harmony with former President Edgar Lungu.
You know, President Lungu, he's not a bad person, please. Never you think President Lungu is a bad person. It's only the followers who make him to feel the way he is. Have you ever talked to him at one time? Edgar, you can't learn something that this man is bad. Even, have you ever sat together with that kind? Sit together with that kind when he's talking to you. Look at his eyes and the way he's talking to you. You know, in this man there's love. Hakainde fears God. Alungu fears God. Where does the enemy comes from? Is he coming from we politicians? You may never know, maybe last night they talked to each other on the phone. You may never know, maybe the president of Zimbabwe, they have already talked to each other on the phone. Lomba imwe, simuzi wandari, mgoti, hey, the situation here is what and what. You even compare the elections that took place already, you are bringing the same elections which happened to him. What is your impression? When you yourself, you are in the opposition, suppose you want to come in the power, you keep on losing until when you are going to die. What happens to that? So you are not thinking, you are not even vision. The very Mwamba and the Kachinda goes to Edgar Lungu. Mwara wererapo. How many presidents in Zambia that they have come? Kaunda wanted to come. Chirula wanted to come. Warupia, Amdala Panamani Soti. munipaishi weze tujira abweyo munipaishi na ndali chabwano nchabwino nikafe ni mwine kazi na yotandara Arabi wenze kui. And do you know the same people who are talking a lot, I learned wakachinda never escorted walupia banda kukoti nise oteze wapeleka kukoti alupia utuja vose vavize nganao pafupi vuone kalini lomba vose vaziewa. I can't see even those people I was with. So I told you last time, me, I will never insult Amaru, my Edgar Lungu on my mouth. Whoever, a politician who insulted the former president is not a politician. He doesn't know where he comes from. He doesn't know politics. Kulemekeza abantu akuru. That's why Oropa muzi mwankala, nkalamba. Envy ni mgudu wa nzeru. The gray hair is the wise. So elderly men, wherever they are, we must respect them. We must respect. So the mkosi ngwenyama inakamba kuti mwe wana wangu mose mwe wana wangu ngachutu mkozi onderana ni chinji nkalani pansi kuti mwe mvana iziko ni yanu neo chabene mfumu lomba ngati mfumu yakamba ichi, which means echiona there is something which is wrong. So I know these two, they have accepted it. So that's the way we should run these things. When the chief has seen something, he comes and stands between you, you must listen. But not these. Imwamdara. Opo kabili tonse tilimuno mrusaka. Tiwo nani? Tuko kumanam street. I always meet, I always tell. One day I met Kachingwe. I said, Munkonka zikika, tikanyana Kachingwe. He's a very young boy. Me, I'm older than him. I'm older with him. These people, some of these people that you see, katayari ndiye kamponda. Do you know mponda? A puppy, small dog. Ndiye ka puppy yaka. I keep on talking to him. Tayari. It's not about the politics. No, you don't know. I'm not thinking like the way you are thinking. Leave my mind. Let me think. Politics ya Zambia. Ya tayari.
As we come to the end of this interview, Mr. Chizu, what are your concluding remarks? And what, as a UPND, are you going to do about this particular situation? I know that yesterday, the provincial chairman had said they would do anything to protect the president.
I'm one of those who we are going to do everything. And we are not even going to sleep. We are going to protect the president, even if he has got his own security. But mind you, he has got his soldiers in the party. And we are the people defending our president in each and every time. But the way, it is not us to take the law into our hands. If the police are capable to do what they want to do them as quick as possible. We can silence them, so that this country moves smoothly. Unlike these useless people that they think they are clever. You know, sometimes you may think you are too clever. Mukambe vizungu vabwino voyondoloka. Wa. This country is nice. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free. When you sing all the verses of Zambia, and you go and put that footage to that national anthem. You play all five of these people, put them in the room, and you play Zambia national anthem. After it finishes, ask them, is that what you have said still stand? What this Zambia national anthem stands for? And what Zambia stands for? Unit. That animal, that bird which is flying, that's what it means in Zambia. Even these people, they talk like that. Hakainde has been given instrument of powers, but he cannot victimize people anyhow. But he is going to say, let us follow. But If these people, they want to attack our president, we are there. We are there for them. Particularly me, if you attack with Hakainde, Abdala. Muzati pailapo. Ni capital ila yazo Abdala. That is our capital. Don't even attempt with our capital. That is Hakainde. When we say it's the capital, he embraces everyone and he looks after one. And that's why I say, one Zambia, one nation, one people, one Zambia.
Mr. Chuzu, we'd like to thank you very much for making an appearance on today's Lunchtime Cafe.
Thank you.
We have been talking to Mr. Michael Chuzu, who is the Special Assistant Mobilization under the Secretary General's office in the UPND. We're discussing various issues, including the documentary that has made a lot of rounds on social media and, of course, on various other platforms. On that note, we come to the end of today's program. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow as we bring to you another exciting program. On behalf of the entire production team, have a blessed afternoon.